Have you ever thought that the narcissist in your life is possessed by demons or has entities of some sort? Well, over the years in working with people coming out of narcissistically abusive relationships, entity possession and demon possession is a topic that comes up a lot. But I think part of the problem is that people don't really understand what that means. It's easy to say, "Oh my gosh, are they possessed? Have they been taken over by demons?" Well, I see demons as negative thought forms and energy. It kind of works behind the scenes. These demons get implanted in all of us by these thought forms that we carry that make us feel really bad about ourselves, that make us feel like we're not enough, that make us feel like we're not lovable. And so, of course, the narcissist who doesn't deal with their feelings at all their feelings go deep into the subconscious where they don't have any access to them, they accumulate an awful lot of these demons, these entities, these dark thought forms. And that's what really runs their life. That's what really controls them. But here's the thing, is because they can't deal with them. They have no tools. They have no ability to even know that they're there. They project them onto the people in their life. When we talk about narcissistic supply, we think of what they're trying to get from us. Attention, validation, energy, whatever they're trying to get to feed their need for supply is one thing, but there's another source of supply that a narcissist uses that people don't talk about very often, and that is we become their dumping ground. We become that vessel for them to project those inner demons onto. So they're constantly taking what they're denying within themselves, what they're disowning within themselves, and pushing it out onto you. And if you continually are subjected to this and you're not really aware of what's going on, you start to buckle under the weight after a certain period of time when you get so much projection coming at you of something that they are disowning within themselves. And then, of course, gaslighting you and telling you it belongs to you, it's yours. You're the one with the problem. You're the crazy one. Then you start to go into your own form of self-doubt. You start taking these demons on. You start absorbing them. And that's why the longer you're with the narcissist, the more your energy just goes down and down and down and down and down. And then you're living in that same darkness. In fact, they often feel liberated because they're casting their demons onto you. So then they feel free when they cast their demons onto you, and you feel heavier, you feel toxic, you feel like there's something wrong. And there is something wrong. And that is you're taking on the projections of the narcissist. So the narcissist really does have these demonic forces, these dark thought forms going on inside of them, and this dark energy that they disown and project. And that's probably one of the greatest characteristics of a narcissist, other than the lack of empathy, is how they project. That's one way that we can recognize a narcissist is if they're projecting onto you, if they're accusing you of doing what they're doing. If they're telling you that you're lying when they're lying, if they're telling you you're cheating when they're cheating, if they're telling you that you're difficult to live with when they're difficult to live with. And these are examples of projection. This happens all the time with narcissists. And when we're in a relationship with them, we get kind of used to it. We shouldn't get used to it. We need to work with ourselves so that we can begin to recognize and become aware so that we're not constantly taking on these projections. Because what really happens is after a period of time when you've had so much thrown at you for so long, you end up getting overloaded. So not only are you depleted because you're giving and giving and giving and not getting anything of substance back, but you're also being weighed down with all these burdens that are being cast on to you. All their disowned stuff is getting projected onto you. And if you've unknowingly been taking it on and taking it on and taking it on under the belief that maybe it is me, maybe I am the one with the problem, maybe I am crazy, I sure feel crazy right now. So when that goes on for a long enough period of time, you end up reaching this point of depletion. You're both energetically depleted and overloaded with their toxic garbage. And this is when you stop being a good source of supply. A lot of people say, well, when I start talking back, when I start drawing boundaries, then they start to go away. That's when the relationship ends. And that is true. That is true. Sometimes when we're standing up for ourselves, they have no more use for us because they don't want somebody that stands up for yourself. If you stand up for yourself, you won't take on their projections. If you stand up for yourself, you're not going to cater to their every whim, to their every need. So standing up for yourself will end the relationship eventually, sooner, probably more than later, because you're not going to be good supply. And a narcissist relationship is based on supply. How much do you cater to their needs? And how much are you willing to take on what they throw at you? If you reach a point of depletion, however, and this happens more often than not with the people that I work with, where when they're at their lowest point, when they no longer have anything to give, it's a point where they think maybe it's time for the narcissist to step up to the plate and start giving back. But this is usually when the narcissist leaves or disappears or ghosts you or gives you the silent treatment because they're really going elsewhere for supply because you're not giving it to them. You don't have it to give. And this is where a lot of people realize something's really wrong here. I've been giving and giving and giving and taking on all this stuff that they're throwing at me. And when I'm in need, when I'm at my lowest point, that's when they leave. And that is true. That's a great sign of a narcissist. They leave when you're at your lowest point, when you're depleted, when you have nothing left to give. So what do you do when you've taken on all of the narcissist inner demons? What do you do with them? Well, the most important thing is this is where you get to step into your power and give it back. You start disowning what they threw at you. They disowned it and threw it at you. Now you disown it and throw it back. You don't even have to be in the narcissist orbit to do this. You can be completely out of the relationship, which is advisable, is to be completely in your own space. And then you can start doing this energy work of sending back what doesn't belong to you, sending back those projections, disowning them, taking your power back. I use a process of soul retrieval and psychic cord cutting to help my clients to release these attachments that they have with the narcissist and send that energy back. So with the soul retrieval, we call back all the pieces and parts of our soul and our energy that we've given away, that were lost, stolen, or given away. We send back what belongs to them. We cut all the cords. We end all the contracts that we might have, unconscious soul level contracts. And we have an opportunity to actually speak to that person in a hypnotic state, because I do my work with people in a hypnotic state, so they're very deeply relaxed and able to access that imaginal world better, so that these sessions are a lot more powerful. So they feel very real to the people that are going through these sessions. And so they have an opportunity to sit in front of the narcissist in the imaginal realm and actually say everything to them that has been left unsaid that they never got a chance to say. Because it's really hard to have an opportunity to say something to a narcissist that you really want to say, because they twist your words, they dismiss you, they find fault with everything that you say, and you just can't really have a conversation. So this is an opportunity to actually have a conversation, to say what you need to say, and then we get to release them, just completely let them go to their own experience of life, to their own karma. And that's where we get to kind of wash our hands. And this is a rinse and repeat process. So even though I do this process with people in session, they are learning in that session how to do it themselves. So if they start thinking about that person again, or they start feeling the weight of something that got thrown at them, they can start to identify it, recognize it, become aware of it, and send it back. So they get trained, basically conditioned on how to stop taking it on. And this is something that is so common with people that get involved in narcissistic relationships, is they continue to take on. Even long after the relationship is gone, they question and doubt themselves. Well, I still think it might be my fault. Maybe if I did this, maybe if I jumped through this hoop, maybe if I did this thing that they wanted me to do, then we could still be together. But what you have to realize is being together with somebody like that is no prize. It's not something that your soul really wants for you. It might be something that your programming and your conditioning want for you. It might be something that is familiar to you, but it's not something that your soul wants for you. Your soul wants for you to be free, to be loved, to be cared for, to be treated with kindness and respect. And of course, you have to start doing those things for yourself. You have to show yourself love and care and kindness and respect. I often see the narcissist as the catalyst for our deepest transformation. Because of them, because of how they show up, we're forced to take our power back. We're forced to stand up for ourselves. And if we're going to recover from narcissistic abuse, we're put in a position where we've got to start putting ourselves first, instead of putting other people first and being codependent where everybody else is first. We have this opportunity to put ourselves first for once, to start really taking care of ourselves, really asking those important questions like, what do I want? Who am I? What's important to me? And when you come to that place where you realize that love is really what matters to most of us, we really all want a loving relationship. We don't want a relationship that drains our energy, that makes us feel crazy, that makes us confused all the time, that makes us question and doubt our worthiness. I don't believe any of us really want that. It doesn't mean we don't get stuck in those dynamics. And when somebody's constantly throwing their demons at you, making you believe that they belong to you, that's a trap. Because when you believe it's your fault, when you believe you're the problem, then you're trying to fix yourself in a relationship where you're not the problem. You're not the one that needs to be fixed. And I'm not saying that you have no wounds or anything that you need to deal with within yourself. Usually just by the very nature of being in a relationship with a narcissist, it shows that there's something that needs to be healed. And often it's our relationship with ourself that needs to be healed. We have to start caring more about ourselves. And like I say, putting ourselves first, paying attention to ourselves and our own needs. even knowing what our needs are, and also being strong enough in our own intuition to be able to recognize what's ours and what is not. To be able to look at ourselves and say, it's not true that I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm actually quite sane. I'm sane enough to recognize that this situation I'm in is crazy and step away from it. We have to disown those projections in order to truly break free. And some people, when they come out of these relationships after they've been devalued and discarded by a narcissist because they're no longer good supply, because they're depleted, because they're overloaded, or because they start finding a backbone and standing up for themselves. Whatever the reason that narcissist leaves, this is your opportunity to really start taking your power back, to really start your own process of transformation. Rather than getting stuck in a loop where you're questioning, what could I have done to prevent him from leaving? What could I do differently to make that relationship work? How can I get that person back? Why am I not as good as the next person, than the next source of supply? We get caught in this place of beating ourselves up and feeling worthless and inadequate because that's what the narcissist was putting on us. But it's not the truth. So as you begin to align with the truth, you can really start to heal and reclaim your power. And that's really why I'm here. I'm here to help. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I really have a good understanding of what we need to do to break free. And I myself have had a pattern of being in relationship with narcissists, but I have the narcissists in my life to thank for who I have become, because it really forced me, those relationships really forced me to take charge of my life in a way I never had before. And you can do that too. So if you're interested in getting started with me and start working with me, I have a free course, Cut the Cords, 9 Days to Energetic Freedom from Narcissistic Abuse. And so you can start this and go through your process each day. You'll get an email, and it's not just information, it's work for you to do. So there's assignments for you to do. And if you actually really work it, you can start to move forward. And then there's other options to work with me. I also have a cord cutting audio hypnosis download. And I think I have that attached to the email so that you can have that opportunity to get that if you want the help, or you can schedule a session for the cord cutting and soul retrieval with me if you would like, if that feels like something that would be empowering to you. And honestly, it is empowering to so many people. It really helps them to take their power back and feel a sense of freedom and control in their life again. So you can get started. I'm going to put the links in the description below. And I really want to invite you to take this journey seriously, to use this opportunity if you are coming out of a relationship with a narcissist to propel you forward in your life, to really allow this experience to empower you and set you on a path of true freedom, true emotional freedom, and true freedom from that cycle of abuse that perhaps, like me, you've been repeating. So I want to thank you for being with me today, for listening. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next FlameWalker podcast. Have a great day. Namaste.